Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'll be doing a review of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is an adult fantasy book which I've had sitting on my shelf for quite some time and finally decided to read it, and I'm so glad I did. This is like two stories rolled into one. Our main story follows two magicians who pit their proteges against each other in a sort of game, the rules of which are left very ambiguous to both the reader and the participants in the game. Celia and Marco are the two adversaries that will be going against each other, and they've been trained since childhood, and their magic isn't illusion or trickery, but the real thing. And as they kind of become aware of each other, that they are participants, that they recognize each other, they kind of become closer and develop a kind of relationship that complicates the game and complicates the ultimate potential ending of the game. The other story is the circus itself, the Night Circus, referred to as Le Cirque de Rêve, pardon my French. And it's a very mysterious circus. It arrives without fanfare or signs or postage or anything, just pops up overnight, and it can disappear equally as quickly and mysteriously. It is created by, let me see if I get his name right, Chandrish Christophe Lefebvre and his friends. It's sort of this circus made up of a multitude of tents, all in this black and white theme, and filled with very, very unique acts. Bailey is a young boy we meet through the course of the story, and one day he, on a dare from his sister, sneaks into the circus during the daylight hours and runs into one of the performers named Poppet, and we later meet her brother Widget, two of my favorite characters in the book. And the three of them become really good friends, and Bailey frequently visits the circus and meets up with them whenever he can. So he's really enthralled with all the acts. And through Bailey, we get to see and taste and smell everything in the circus. Really brought it to life. Eventually what we do learn is that the circus itself is the main venue for this mysterious game. And it can have potential effects because the outcome of this game is going to result in the death of one of the participants. And because Celia and Marco are both so very closely tied with the circus, you wonder what the outcome will be for the circus and the performers itself. Celia is one of the performers in the circus, and Marco works for Chandrish kind of behind the scenes. He basically is running the circus when Chandrish isn't around. This book, for me, had a very kind of Harry Potter meets Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell feel to it. If you haven't read the Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke, definitely check it out. It's about two magicians. One is a protege of the other, and they end up having sort of this rivalry between the two of them. Like I said, it definitely had that feel to it. And then the wondrous way that this was written and vividly described, everything, like I said, it was like a feast for your senses. You could smell the caramel wafting through the air. You could almost taste the food. The way it was so wonderfully described reminded me very much of J.K. Rowling's writing. I almost wish this was like her adult novel that she came out with. It's almost like the words came right out of her mouth. It was so well written. I really enjoyed it. Besides Bailey kind of leading us on a tour through the circus, we also have these little interludes throughout the book where the author has brought the reader in as a guest at the circus. And here's like a little snippet from this part here. With your ticket in hand, you follow a continuous line of patrons into the circus, watching the rhythmic motion of the black and white clock as you wait. Beyond the ticket booth, the only way forward is through a heavy striped curtain. One by one, each person passes through it, vanishing from sight. When it is your turn, you pull back the fabric and step forward, only to be engulfed by darkness as the curtain closes again. There's much more to it, but I like the way the author kind of put those little snippets in to the book itself and brought the reader to the circus, and it was very enjoyable. I really enjoyed reading this book. I did, even though I had this physical copy of the hardcover here, this is not the copy I actually read. I actually listened to the book as an audio book, which happened to become available from my library. I downloaded it to my iPod, and so I could listen to it at work, because I haven't been able to get to this, and I really wanted to know what the whole story was about. And when I first heard the voice come across, the person who's reading the book to us, I was just like, yes! Because it was Jim Dale, who happens to be the person who reads all the Harry Potter books on audio, and he just does such an amazing job. That's sort of another reason why I kind of started hinting a little bit towards sounding a little bit like Harry Potter, but it was also more so the writing, I would say. But I would highly recommend listening to it on audio if you haven't picked up the book, or even if you have and you want to do a reread kind of thing. Try the audiobook because he just does such an amazing job when he reads the stories. But overall, I highly recommend this book. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, and I'm so glad I finally picked it up. Definitely check this one out. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.